What's up, dudes and dudettes? My name is Jesse. In today's video we're going to be talking about a guitar manufacturer that has been making some waves in the guitar community, and that is Shijie from China. And I will be doing a review of my Shijie STE 2020 model, what to expect, how it sounds, and just overall my honest opinion review on it. And here we go. Before we get started with the review, I would like to say that this is completely unbiased. They're not paying me to say this. This is just my honest review of this guitar, which I've seen from other guitar reviewers on YouTube, so I just kind of wanted to share my take on it. And to begin, we're going to talk about the guitar case that it comes with. It is a very sturdy, very cool case that I really like. I put other guitars in it as well. It is very comfortable, it's very secure. It's got two big pockets that has everything you need. You could also wear like a backpack. Very cool. I kind of really like the gig bag approach that companies are doing now. So upon opening the box, you're also going to find this little specs sheet, which we'll get into a little later. Also in the case, you're going to find this cute little mini Shijie, which looks to be like roasted maple as well. I'm not sure, but it's pretty much a pick holder, and I think it's one of the coolest little novelty things you can get inside a guitar. So who is Shijie? Well, they're a guitar manufacturer out of China, out of Shandong, China. I asked the representative where they were at, and basically they are just like a small little company. Everything is handmade, and they put a lot of attention to detail to their instruments, which is why they're getting this reputation and this kind of word of mouth going around. They make Strat copies like this and other kind of like super Strats and other shapes, but they kind of add their own little flair to it, and we're going to explain that a little bit right now. So first things first, this is a bolt-on construction body. I'm going in order of the spec sheet right here. We also have a very familiar 25.5-inch scale for that Fender familiarity. You're going to fit right in if you're into that. This is a two-piece alder body, which is also pretty common in Fenders, and by the way, just a very balanced weight. It's not heavy at all. It feels good standing and sitting. It's sturdy. It's the only way I can describe it. You feel like it's there. Chrome hardware, 2 tones, 1 volume, 5-way switch, 3 pickups, pretty standard. They have their own tremolo system, which they call the Shijie Brass Tremolo 3. Moving on to the neck, which is probably the most eye-catching part of this, is a roasted maple Canadian quarter sawn. This is one piece, which is pretty cool. You know, usually you're gonna have like that fretboard, which is a different material than the neck, but this is all roasted maple. And then what the cool thing about Shijie is kind of the little trademark is they add these little flame maple skunk stripes, which as soon as someone sees it, it's pretty much a talking piece. Very, very cool. Speaking of the neck, we have a 2-way truss rod, which is accessible right here at the 22nd fret, and we have Jescar nickel frets, not stainless steel, although they do make a stainless steel version of this guitar. This is Jescar nickel, which by the way feels just as familiar. I don't really notice that big of a difference, and they're smooth, they're polished, they are completely, you know, the fret job is there. There's no sharp edges. The shoulders are really nice and rolled off. We have a 42mm nut at the top. This particular guitar comes with Kluson vintage tuners, non-locking. We'll get more into that a little later. But really cool. I really like the classic vibe they have to them. At the headstock, we have Shijie custom guitars, which is, I really find the headstock very classy, and it just looks really stylish on this guitar. We also have a 12-inch radius on this neck, which is kind of like that sweet middle ground of, you know, nicely rounded, so you can chord really nicely, but you can also do your little shreds just comfortably. I'm more of I typically stay around the whole 12-ish range for 12-inch radius, so it fits right at home for me. Lastly, the neck profile is a modern C, they call it. It's hard to explain it. I mean, it's comfortable. It feels very nice in the palm of your hand. It's not gonna fight you. It's not clunky. And speaking of which, it does go with the satin neck on the back, so there's no gloss to slow you down. And this is pretty much the Shijie. So I would just like to point out, I felt really silly learning this the hard way, but upon getting the guitar, it's gonna have the tremolo arm that comes with it. Mine was extremely loose, and I couldn't figure out why it was, and I saw some people where it's just had that, you know, you put it in one spot and it stays there, and I couldn't figure it out. So of all people, I asked Mr. Daryl Braun, how is that even happening? And I felt like such a noob, but I'm going to show you right now that there's this little Allen wrench key that goes in there that I've never seen before on the guitar, and that's how you actually get the whammy bar to actually stay in place or loosen it however you deem fit. So just a side note, because I didn't see explanations for that anywhere, so if you're not dumb like me, there you go. Another interesting tidbit is their tuners have been kind of through a lot. The early reviews I used to see, they used to have locking tuners and locking strap locks, by the way, which this does not have. I am unsure of other models. Maybe the stainless steel one has them, I don't know. But this one, the STE 2020 Standard, does not have locking strap locks. But anywho, these come with Kluson Vintage, which before, I believe they had their own brand, which were locking, and then they had Wilkinson. But I actually spoke to the CTO of Shijie on through Twitter DMs, and he confirmed to me. He says, you can rest assured that yours are Kluson, because only less than 30 guitars in late 2019 and early 2020 are Wilkinson. So that tells me if you have a Shijie guitar with Wilkinson tuners, you are in an extremely rare group of less than 30. So I would hold on to those. But as of now, they are Kluson, non-locking vintage style tuners. So as we know, these guitars are made in China. And when we think of China, as far as guitars, we think of kind of like that lower end, just kind of production line, spit them out type of thing. But that is absolutely not the case here. If I didn't tell you this was made in China, you would have no idea. If this was even made in the US, it'd probably be worth at least 2 to 3 times as much, just because of where it's made. But I forgot who said this, but basically, I think it was actually Daryl that said this, but a CNC machine does not care where a guitar is made, and neither should you, because if it's working, it looks good, it does everything it needs to do, then it doesn't really matter where it's from, you know. So don't let the stigma of it's made in China kind of deter you away from this, because as you will hear and see, the quality is within the instrument itself and not the geographic location. For what it's worth, the price as it stands right now, I believe when I bought this a couple months ago, it was about $830 US plus 100 shipping, which cost me a total of $945 flat, and it got here in about 2 weeks. It could change with you know, the pandemic and shipping, but that was only a couple months ago. But I also think that these guitars are going to you know, there's a possibility they can raise in price because of demand and because of shipping and everything. So I got mine because I felt like they were just gonna keep going up, and they're gonna hold their value. So I believe that under 1,000 is beyond fair for something of this caliber and so striking. Alright, and now for the fun stuff. So I am a little bit of a multi-style guitarist, so I'm going to play a couple of genres on this, because who knows what you're going to be playing, and let's see if it can handle all that kind of stuff like reggae, blues, metal, and rock, and all that. So I'm gonna play a couple of different things. I'm gonna cycle through the pickups, and I'm gonna have them on screen, which one is which. It's being played right now. By the way, the pickups are called the Custom 62. Let me see if I'm right about that. I'm sorry. It is a Custom 62 made in Japan. So these are proprietary pickups made by them. And just as a side note, at least mine, the pinch harmonics are pretty dang responsive on these, so take that with a grain of salt. But I'm a big fan of doing pinch harmonics on these pickups. Anyways, let's start off with some clean tones. So I've kind of always been on the fence of like, do I want a Strat? Because I'm not really like a single coil guy, but I mean, I guess it has its purposes, and you know, there are some styles that really do fiend for that sound. And let me just say that this has been honestly one of the better purchases I've ever made. I've owned guitars that cost twice as much as this, that play less than stellar. This is, in my honest opinion, probably one of the best values for your money. They're only going to get more and more valuable, and I think the prices might even increase just because of the demand and you know, all these things going on. But for what I can tell, the whole small business, and you know, talking to Dave and Alex, and they're all really cool people, and they're really involved. And I would just really want to like commend these guys for their efforts, and I hope they keep continuing. That this is really pushing the boundaries of like where a guitar is made and why that shouldn't matter to you. But at the end of the day, it's all subjective. But in my opinion, this is the best Strat style guitar that is currently in the market right now. So let me know what you think. I know there's been a little bit of a talk around town about these guitars. Let me know what you think of how it looks, how it sounds, and if you have one, let me know. Please tell me your experiences, because they are still kind of niche. They've only been around for 5 years, which reminds me, shout out to Dave and them for, I forgot to wear this during the video, but shout out for the shirt, pretty cool. Has all their headstocks right there. Handcrafted guitars, Shijie guitars. And that kind of segues into the next thing. If you do want to get one of these, you need to order directly from them. Well, that's what I did at least. And then you just, as it stands, you email Dave and ask him what you want. So that was my review. I hope you guys liked it. If you have questions, let me know. There will be more reviews coming. I have more guitars next to me, so they're all going to be reviewed. I have more news coming as well, so stay tuned for that. Follow my socials, and we'll be making more videos soon. In the meantime, happy holidays, and take care of yourselves, dudes and dudettes. See you guys next time.